As a global community, the Sustainable Development Goals are important to all of us. These goals will replace the soon to be expired Millennium Development Goals, and they will set global development targets for 2030. So, why should you care? You're probably thinking, I don't work in international development. My day to day activities don't involve thinking about how global economies, markets, and societies are growing and will continue to grow and develop in the future. Well, let me tell you why. First, these goals are relevant to you because, as opposed to the Millennium Development Goals, these ones are incredibly inclusive. They focus on global development to create healthier, just, and sustainable societies, and not just for the poorest countries in the world, for all of the globe. High income, low income, and all countries in between will be held accountable for meeting SDG targets and contributing to their achievement as a global society. This doesn't just mean thinking about how your own country is working to meet them. For some of us, it means how your country will be involved in helping finance them and be involved in development elsewhere. So, whether development is happening domestically or internationally, your tax money, your businesses, your governments, and your philanthropists will be involved in financing the SDGs in some way. Now, financing the SDGs will be a very challenging task. There are 17 goals with multiple targets, and they span so many sectors, covering all the things that we need to be doing to develop as a global community in a way that is environmentally and economically sustainable. Meeting these targets is a daunting enough task without even mentioning financing them. Financing them will cost approximately 17.5 trillion US dollars per year, totaling over $170 trillion over 15 years. That's a huge amount of money. And you're probably thinking, whoa, how the heck are we going to come up with that? Well, one really important thing about this is that we actually do have the finance available. It is available. We just have to mobilize and leverage existing finance appropriately. Basically, there is this concept of using the billions of dollars that we do have available and turning that and investing it in the right way so we can end up with trillions for development. Okay, fine. So how do we do this? Well, there are a few ways. One, we really need to mobilize domestic resources. There is only so much official development assistance that can go around, and developing countries with growing economies will have to rely less on these sources of finance. So they will have to look towards raising finance domestically through the public sector. This means investing in and harnessing development of natural resources like agriculture, energy, fuel, also cutting back lost finance through illicit financial flows like bribery, tax evasion, criminal activities. Did you know that trillions of dollars are lost to these illicit financial flows? Craziness. Another way that we can mobilize domestic resources is to be more efficient in collecting tax revenue. We could invest in more information technology to make the process easier for people to actually pay their taxes. So you don't have to raise taxes to raise more revenue. You simply can increase revenue if you just make the system more efficient. Two, the private sector has to be involved. It has to be mobilized, but it needs incentives. The private sector is heavily influenced by risk and returns, including sometimes being hesitant to invest in unstable political or economic climates. But this is where the public sector can help. Through laws and regulations, competition policy, hard and soft infrastructure, and instruments to foster and sustain healthy commercial markets, the public sector can change the investment climate in a way that is more conducive for private businesses to invest, flourish, and also attract private international investors. Also, public-private partnerships can help reduce the risk for private investors, making development projects more attractive to private investors. Now, of course, there will be a very important role that multilateral development banks will play in all of this, helping coordinate between stakeholders, giving technical expertise to advise governments on how to enhance financial efficiency flows. But I wanted to focus here on the role of domestic resource mobilization and private sector involvement, because I believe these will be instrumental in financing the SDGs in the future, and because to me, they are the most salient reasons why the topic should matter to you. Achieving the SDGs will impact everyone on the planet. Financing them also will involve everyone at some level, either directly or indirectly.